Thanks for coming tonight. And tonight we're going to do what I like to call inchies or Twinchies because they're 2-inch little projects. So they are these cute little cards, and I have lots of ideas we can do with them. So what I'm going to do right away is I'm actually going to switch it to my down view so that you can see what I'm doing. So now I can do the share screen that I'm supposed to, that I know. Okay, well, I'll switch camera. Let's try there. Okay, that I don't know what I did, but I did something right. So, okay, so these are the Twinchies, and so I did these with several people at the like I do a lot of volunteer stuff with seniors, and I did this with the seniors. And what my intention was for us to do these little things and then mount them on these little boards. And then mount them on these little boards and then have like a little ribbon or something, and then they make a Christmas decoration. But of course, they didn't do that. They decorated the whole boards and everything. So they kind of lost the whole thought of doing a 2-inch composition or whatever. So I like them because it sort of helps me use up little bits of paper and stuff like that. And you can make some kind of nice things. You can also do things where you're using stamps. I have some paintings, and you could also draw. This is a drawing that my daughter did. So you could draw and then color it. This is one that I probably would have done with we did these last year. I think we did these little Christmas balls last year. This one I quite like, made a little stocking out of some extra lace and stuff. So anyway, it's kind of fun. And so I got all these different things. So the Twinchies, what you start with is like a 2-inch square. And so I have a whole bunch of them that are cut in white, which I can use, but you don't have to just stick with that. You can use, like I did these ones, I cut these ones up. These are scrapbook papers. This is one of my painted pieces of paper that I just cut up. You can use colored cardstock. This is actually a piece of like an old Christmas card, but I just cut part of it. And so you can't really see what was in the picture, but that's okay. These are paint samples. This is a paint sample. And then I found this afternoon. It's a texture sample, which I thought was kind of cool. So I cut it up. Anyway, so you can use just about anything to do it. And it depends on what you want to do. If you want to take it and make it into like a little Christmas tree ornament or something like that. Or, one of the ladies that I know, she's making a little dollhouse, and these are perfect little paintings for a dollhouse. So if you're doing something like that. The other thing you can do is if you have a card, like just cardstock, and you want to make a Christmas card, you could certainly do something like that where you just put it on there and then it's kind of a nice little card. So anyway, and I'm sure there's other things you could do with them, but I'm not sure. So the other thing I wanted to show you was some of the ways that I sort of fix up the papers a little bit. For example, on these paint samples, they scratch super easy. And the edges, when you cut them, they're kind of yucky because they're white. So what I do quite often is I take a stamp pad and I black the edges. So I have this cheap little stamp pad here. It's pretty dry. And I just, run the card on the edge, and that sort of picks up the thing. You could use a Sharpie, but you have to be careful that you don't, slip in right on your card. But that sort of blacks the edges so that when you go to put it down on something white, it looks kind of nice. The other thing you can do, and I did that with this one, is I rubbed it a little bit on the stamp pad. So it has this sort of distressed look. And that's just taking the stamp pad and just sort of, it's a pretty dry stamp pad. So I'm just sort of rubbing it a little bit. I did the same thing with this white one, where you can see, so it's kind of distressed. And I mean, I did that with these ones too, where I was rubbing them on the card and stuff like that. Then I actually thought, well, Christmas, so I did a green, which is kind of nice. And then you don't have to distress it. You could just do the green edges. I think that looks quite nice. So anyway, and for your entertainment, I want to show you what I did today. I was thinking about doing this, and I thought, okay, well, we did snowflakes earlier this season, so I did a little 2-inch snowflake. So you were talking about me doing things really small, so there you go. There's a little tiny snowflake that I could put on one of these cards. So anyway, so all it is, you know, just finding things. Now I have lots of bits and pieces that I brought to my table here, and everything from, you know, I've got some glittery paper. I've got paper. This is like a piece of metal that's been embossed. I've got scrapbooking paper. I've got little strips of, look, that's some of my painted paper, but it's strips of that. I also have little embellishments that you can use. These are actually fingernail stickers that the girls use, but they're mine now. I have glitter. I love this chunky glitter, but I tend to, and you'll see in these ones, I actually place each piece of glitter by hand. I did it on this one too, because they're so big. And it's kind of, oh, on this one too. They're so big, so I use a pair of tweezers to do that and glue. And let's see, what else do I have? You can use stamps. You can use anything you like to do this. I have this little bowl. This is what I keep on my desk. It's this little bowl of stuff. And it's little bits of painted paper, bits of tape, little things that I find that I think are kind of neat. And I kind of put them in this little bowl. They end up in my inventory eventually, but I'm going to use some of those tonight. Let's see if I can make some inchies. So, or Twinchies, because they're 2-inch ones. So yeah, I kind of like that one too. But anyway, so you just grab something and you start sort of putting pieces on it. And I have my scissors here. I have bits and pieces of stuff that I cut up and things that I wanted to use. I did these years ago. There's like a little sort of a very fast drawn star, I guess. So I might be able to use some of those. I have a bunch of them. But also, you know, using bits of cards, you know, if you find an old Christmas card that you want to cut up and try some things out of, you know, like I have this one here. You can see it's already been cut up quite a bit, but you know, there might be something on here that, like a little star, which I used. I used a star like that on this one. So, and you can say, well, somebody cut the Mary, but that's all right. So there's lots of things to try. And if you want to cut smaller squares, I have one of these little Fiskars cutters, and they're very handy for doing small things. And you can just sort of, if you want to do a small square, and you can just sort of cut it. Is that a square? I don't know. And then that's a good way to get started, is if you just do something like that and then start to build on it. I have this little piece of something I found on my floor earlier. It's probably a piece of my painted paper, it looks like.
I will let you work on those. I have Twinchy Plus.
Twinchy Plus.
Mine are 2.5-inch squares. And
Oh,
I made 3 before class, and this is about as innovative as I get. I will show you this was my first one. This was
just a minute. I'm gonna
following your lead. This is my first Twinchy.
Oh, I like him. Little
My slightly overweight snow person. And this is my other one. I don't have I will never have even 2% of all of the stuff that you have, because
Oh, I know.
that's not my way. But this is my other, given that I brought stuff to work today to goof with, this is my other Twinchie.
Nice. I like dots, you know.
This is my raw thick. It's actually 3-dimensional. You can see
Oh, it is.
the dots of paint out of the paint tube. So didn't have
Nice.
anything to apply. So that's my other Twinchie. So I was gonna try to do 1 or 2 more during class, and we'll see what I can come up with.
All right. Well, we'll just sort of play with them a little bit. I'm just again, I liked these edges to not be white, so I'm gonna just sort of color them on this stamp pad.
We will see what kind of a mess that I make.
Excellent. Well, it's funny because I was showing them to my mom and she said, well, we can tell that they're yours because mine are usually not of anything and they're just sort of a bunch of bits and stuff put together. But that's what I do.
That's what you does.
That's what I do. So and it just feels like nice when I can use a little bit of this stuff that's, you know, most people would think is garbage. Although I did have a friend contact me today and she has all these bumpers and stuff from the inside of a piano. And she asked me if I wanted them. And she said, well, you could use them for your class on Tuesdays. And I'm like, well, no, I can't because nobody else has them. I can't really, it's hard for me to do stuff with, and you guys don't have all the supplies. I just made a little mess on here, but that's okay. I'm going to cover it up anyway with this thing. So, I mean, it's just, I'm kind of using Christmas colors, I guess. So that's okay. Well, and it doesn't have to be Christmas, right? You could make these out of anything and they could be part of just a card, like a thank you card or a, I just thought they'd be kind of fun as Christmas tree decorations, but you'd have to figure out the best way to sort of display them. Quite often when I'm gluing things, it's nice to have a little piece of extra paper so that you can just sort of set it on top and push, give it a good push, and then you're not moving any of the glue around or if there's ink or anything like that. So
imperfections are part of my artwork.
Mm-hmm.
I have smears, I just call it part of the work.
It is part of the work. I have those all the time. Now I need something else on here. I want to try some of these little stickers. These are kind of fun. I still need something else. Oh. It's really funny what I find as when I'm cleaning up my studio, it's like, oh, I could do something with that. This little thin piece of nothing. So is it cold there?
For us, it is. We got close to a foot of snow last night, and it's about well, it's about -6 or 7 Celsius right now.
Okay.
That's quite cold for us. But
yeah.
The snow is unusual.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold for the rest of the week, and it's gonna rain. It's gonna snow on and off through the week. So by Friday, who knows how much snow we'll have.
Yeah.
I mean, the real difference here between what happens in the mountains and what happens here in town is just a few degrees. So, I mean, if it's cold like now, we get mountain snow.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. I take the bus because I like the snow, but I don't have any interest in driving in it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I had problems starting my car today. My car didn't start when we needed it to, so.
Is it cold?
It's about -30.
It's cold.
That's cold. So
Cars aren't meant to start in that kind of weather.
that's what my car says. So he's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Your car is smart.
Yeah, it was cold. So I still have to go out again one more time tonight. So I got to pick up my daughter.
Yeah, tell her to walk.
It's a little ways.
Tell her to put hair on her chest.
You know, my dad used to say that about eating your peas. And then I realized, you know what? He mustn't have eaten his peas because he doesn't have much hair on his chest. And why would I want a hairy chest?
You should ask Bill. Maybe he'd be excited by that.
He didn't have hair on his chest either.
That might be the why.
He didn't eat his peas. Well, I had to have a pea for every year I was.
That's not very many peas.
Not when I was younger, but it's starting to get up there.
So you're saying you don't like peas anymore?
Still never did. Never liked peas. I like them raw.
You're just pea discriminatory.
I am. Don't like peas. Well,
you're just pea discriminatory.
I am. That's okay. So anyway, I mean, that's just kind of a quick little design that I've done there. It's not, I think I need one more thing on there. But I kind of like it. That's sort of how I do this. It's just sort of like a collection of little bits that end up on my piece. Go through my little jar of things. And see what else I can come up with. That's all right. But I'm just going to set that one aside. Sometimes I'll do one and like I'll be happy with the way it is, you know, but then I'll come back and go, you know what, it's a bit plain, or maybe I want to do something else on it. And that's okay too. Now I brought out some stamps that I have. These are pretty, they're pretty basic stamps that I might have used with my kids and stuff like that. See if there's something in here that looks like I want to try, maybe a Christmas tree. And if I don't like it, I'll just cover it up because I can do that. It's nice to get out things that I haven't used for a long time. Well, that hardly showed up at all. That's not bad. I just made wallpaper. Uh-oh.
Quite what I was hoping.
Not quite.
No, that's good.
This is a little piece of scrapbooking cardstock that I kind of like. It shows up even in my paintings sometimes. Sure hope it's not copyright because I do use it from time to time. I'm trying to use up this glue. This is not my favorite glue, but if you put lots on the back, it tends to work, but you have to put lots on. So I put that on, give it a good press. And then I'm just going to turn it over and cut that little excess off because I'm trying to stay within my 2-inch. Look at that little piece. Yeah, it's going on there. There, I lined it up with a
All right.
tree. Are you having problems there?
No, I'm being goofy, which is what I'm supposed to be.
That's okay. What did I do with that? Just cut it a second ago. Where did I put it? Sure, I had a piece of tape in my hand that was really cool. Do you think I can find it now? No. It's exactly the right color. Well, I'll have to use this one. I also brought out, they're staring right in front of me. I have that little bowl that I use to put interesting bits in sometimes, but I also have drawers. And so I'm going to pull one of these forward. I have 2 of these in front of me, but I have several of them. It's like, this is what I have. Like, it's a whole drawer of weird little things, and it all goes in here, and then eventually I'm gonna have to make a lot of Twinchies to use all that stuff up.
Well, if anybody can do it, it would be you.
I don't know.
Twinchy queen.
I don't know about that either. I just like making them. So I'm gonna do something a little different here. Maybe I need these ones.
All right, that'll be the weirdest Twinchy you ever saw.
Is it? That's okay. Weird's good. In my books, anyway.
Weird is all I've got.
That's good.
What color goes good with magenta?
Green or blue. Oh, I actually really like a turquoise blue is nice with it.
Best I can do is turquoise green.
Oh, that might work. So I'm actually cutting out one of these little stars.
Hey, just call me Jackson Pollock.
Oh, you're throwing paint, are you? Jackson Pollock says, I don't paint nature. I am nature.
He's also a drug user.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
I don't dislike his work. It just say that's almost done in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She is Twinchy B, Twinchy Goo.
Okay. I don't mind that one. Just little things, right? Okay, where's that snowflake I did? I better deal with that, or else I'm gonna lose it. I already did. Well, I don't know. There it is. Almost too much normal. It's almost too normal.
Too normal, huh?
Yeah, it's too normal for me. So I'm taking my stamp pad. This is what happens when people don't clean their stamps before they use my white stamp pad. They make patterns on my stamp pad. That's okay. I'm just, you know what? Actually, that is coming out. The pattern that they left is coming out onto my stamp. That's kind of cool. Happy mistakes. I like those.
Things that are not reproducible.
Yeah. Well, now I really like what's going on there. I'm just going to, I can't put my snowflake on that one. It's too cool. Yeah, let that dry. Ooh, ooh, I like that. Done. No. Let's try another one. It's still coming out. Isn't that interesting? Well, that was not as good, but I'll set that aside.
Expect
Hmm?
I'm just talking to myself. Something happened that I didn't expect.
That's how I'm feeling.
It is what it is.
Okay. Now this one's not as good as those first two, so I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm really proud of my little snowflake, but I'm wondering if it's still too big.
No, don't go there.
Where's that little piece of cotton?
Fiddlesticks.
I'm trying to find the one little piece of card that I cut. There it is. Maybe this would be better there. Maybe so. The trick is to get the glue on the snowflake without ripping the snowflake, because this glue is very sticky. Ugh. That's not that good though. Okay. I'm switching to my better glue for this one. What a difference.
Be final.
I
said that's gonna have to be final.
Oh, gonna have to be final.
One more.
One more.
One more. I think I'll be twitchied out.
You'll be twitchied out. Well, it's going pretty fast today, so. Okay. So there, I got my snowflake down. Actually, it's kind of nice that way. I just feel like it's only one thing though. Oh, you know what would be cool? Maybe I'll do this. Make it super sparkly. I need my tweezers. You know, it's really easy to collect all this stuff, and then, you know, you gotta eventually sometime you gotta use it.
Well, not necessarily. She who dies with the most stuff wins.
I don't know.
You have children, right?
Yeah, I don't want to leave them with all this.
You can judge your relative success by themselves.
Yeah. I was cleaning out a friend of mine's studio after she passed away, and we were doing it with a group of ladies. And, you know, only a group of artists would appreciate all the little bits and interesting things she had and stuff like that. And as we were doing it, I said, it'll be so much fun when you guys do this for me. And they said, we're not doing that for you, because they know how much I have. And I'm like, you guys are going to miss out on so much really cool stuff.
You don't know how to embrace the joy of a 9 cubic yard dumpster.
No. No. Put my stuff in a dumpster. Leave it to artists and they'll take it. So, okay, I feel better about that. I put little sparklies in the middle of that little guy. That's pretty cool. I like that one.
You added, oh, very good.
Yeah.
You're just a crazy,
I couldn't just do one thing on it. It's just like, you know,
crazy person.
Can't just take one thing and do that. So I've done this one, and this one.
Yeah.
Is that all I've done? It's two. I did three. I've lost one already. Oh, here it is, three. I've done three so far. And I got two starts, but I don't know what I want to do with those yet. Just really like them. What else do I have in my little bag of tricks up here? So many things. Like a little, I don't know about that.
The only drawback to having so much snow locally is I don't think there's any place locally open that I could go eat.
Oh. You think they would be all closed because of the snow?
Oh yeah, we don't deal with the snow like you do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess it would shut you right down.
Not completely, but a foot of snow is a lot for us.
Mm-hmm.
This is not normal.
No. Well, I don't think anybody's having normal weather right now. I mean, we're used to, I mean, I guess this is kind of normal for us. We get cold.
You guys are ruining it for us. This is all because of you.
It's not because of us.
This Canada Arctic weather that's blowing down. It's making our rain turn to snow.
Oh, you see, I thought it was from Siberia. So there you go.
Well, it might be, but I'm going to blame the Canadians tonight.
Well, even in BC, they're having problems. So.
Well, that's your own cross-border wars.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's the. This is my, which of these is not like the others, Twinchie?
That's all right.
The best kind.
Yeah. The ones that are just, that's the way they go. See, this is not sticking well. Okay, I need to glue.
I have relatively small hands, but I still find your 2 inches to be too small. I made another one of those drive me insane origami stars, but I made it 2.5 inches instead of 3, so it would fit in the envelope for my mother's Christmas card.
Well,
So
that's good.
Made her a poinsettia one.
Nice.
Send it to her. Told her to wish upon it. There you go. Christian woman with a Star of David. What can you say?
Oh, well.
Oh well.
That's all right.
Wasn't really a Star of David. Just
Not really. What else?
I will admit freely, I like the classes that are more geared toward painting or drawing and less geared towards crafty.
Mm-hmm.
More
your thing. Well, we'll be getting into some of that next year. We're going to do some drawing projects or sort of drawing projects. I don't teach a lot of drawing just because I'm not a good drawer. I do draw sometimes, but it's not very often.
It's just more, it isn't the quality of the result, that kind of thing, it's just more the techniques that kind of appeal, like using colored pencils to come up with something weird or weird paint, but the cutting and pasting and using all the different types of textures, that's not something that resonates strongly with me.
What have I got coming up? Oh,
you'll have to nag others in Elizabeth next week. I have book club next week, and I'm not sure.
Next week I'm not going to do a class. I'm going to take the week off because I think a lot of people are busy with family, which is probably what's going on tonight too. People are busy, and so I thought, well, I'll just give it a rest next week, and we'll reconvene in the new year.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So. Will give me some time. I have a couple of I have that one that I showed you last week that we'll do in the new year, which is painting, but it's also sculpture. And then I don't know. I'd like to try bookbinding with you guys. And then I've got another I got a few projects that I want to try, but you guys need some special items for those.
Whatever happened to the likes of the little girl? What was her name? Emily or Chloe?
Chloe, yeah. She hasn't been back for a while. I think she got busy, or maybe she does something else now on Tuesday nights. So I think that's just the way sometimes it goes with kids and kids' activities and things like that. I'm going to take a card and I'm just going to cut one little snowflake out of this card.
How old are your offspring?
Mine, I've got a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Oh.
So.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this one's a bit of a mishmash, but that's all right. Some are better than others. That's what happens when you want to use something that's so weird. It just doesn't work, so that's okay. So yeah, upcoming, I'd like to do the bookbinding. I have a few more other projects, like my painted feather. And then we'll be doing flowers, painting flowers. And some abstract painting.
There we go, the abstract painting.
Hmm?
There we go, the abstract painting.
I'll do the abstract painting.
Fudge. Doggone it.
So I've done 4. I got a few started that I probably need to finish. that I didn't do anything on.
Two mistakes. Oh well.
Just kind of nice having a whole collection of things. You know, you could do like you could even do like one whole piece with a whole bunch of these little things, you know, and depending on how you mount them, they could, you know, make this just really interesting little thing to look at with lots of different things in there.
I have completed 5 in total, 3 more since I've shown before.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to switch the view so I can see what you're doing.
Oh, finish what you're doing. I'm just cleaning up my mess so I can.
Well, I was just puttering around because I wasn't making any more because I've made.
Oh.
I made 1, 2, 3, 4 tonight.
Okay.
So, okay, let me just stop the sharing here and then.
I've decided that this one's name is Rupert.
Rupert, okay.
This is my cell.
Yes, it looks very biological.
This is my whatever.
I like that blue in there.
And my last one is, which of these is not like the other?
Oh, I like that. Look at those edges. That's interesting.
I like this one.
Yeah, I like that one too.
This one is got a little bit of the appeal of random. Originally, I was going for the fact that the 2 purples were not like the other, but I put that little diamond in there at the end.
Yeah.
So you have to decide which is not like the other. The rest are just one color each. So
yeah,
that's my contribution to the world of art.
That's awesome. Well, I like it.
That's so thank you for sharing.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this with me. I really enjoyed doing them. I'm glad I made that little snowflake today. So yay. I think it's my favorite one now. It's like kind of simple.
That's you got your snowflake. I got this one.
Yeah, there we go. So
enjoy the cold weather, Karen.
Yes. Yes, so much enjoying it. It took me my parents live like 12 minutes away. It took me an hour to get from their house. All right. Okay. Well, you have a good night.
You have a happy holidays, Karen.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Have a great Christmas. Okay.
Yeah, you too. Happy New Year.
Okay. Bye-bye.